Hello, and welcome to At All Hours, the show where who fucking gives a shit. I'm your host, Greg Ramirez, and it's been a while. I'll be the first to address it. It's been a while since we've spoken, since we've had one of these. Also, before we get into things, I want to just say you might hear some mechanical whirring in the background. It has been fucking hot here in wherever it is that I live. And obviously it's summer right now. And it's hot as fuck outside. So I'm in my cave with the air conditioning running. So sorry if you hear it in the background. Sorry, I don't know. I'm not going to proof it. I'm not going to do any tests. I'm just going to let it run because it's fucking hot and fuck you. You're probably wondering why I'm coming into this recording so hot when you're like, you're the one that disappeared. Why are you mad? Well, I'll tell you. Ever since our last episode where we had Cultist on, back in January, it has been an absolute shit show in our country and in the world. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not that happy about it. I don't know what you guys did. I don't know why you let that happen, but I'm not very happy with you. Okay? So, since then, we've had things like a full-blown genocide in Palestine. We have had immigration, kidnapping, and detaining, and sometimes deporting people to sometimes places they're not even from. We've had Donald Trump on a tear, just doing whatever the fuck he wants, and also not releasing the Epstein files that he's very obviously on. And above all that, the worst thing that has happened recently, people are now okay with calling things gay again. God damn it! I can't stand for that. I have to draw the line somewhere. So let's get into it. Let's start with the most egregious offense. People are calling things gay again without fear. I don't like it. I do not like it. It's kind of one of those things where people were like comedians had this like big push for being like, I can't fucking say anything now. I can't say fucking or it or or this or that. Those are all being censored, by the way. That's not even coming out on the Patreon. I don't have a Patreon, but if I did, that's not coming out on the Patreon. Okay? Comedians can't say shit. They're just like, I can't say whatever I want. I have to fucking walk on eggshells and shit. Because now I'm afraid of saying something to a fucking trans person and I have to worry about how they're going to feel. And it's like, yeah. It's called accountability, you fucking censored word. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But people are holding people accountable for the things that they say. There's nothing wrong with that. How is that bad? How is that bad to be held accountable for your actions? You can say whatever you want. And the thing is, you'll still have an audience. But when you have opportunities that close because of the fact that you said certain things, that's what happens. You're being held accountable for the things that you say, right? Which is, I fucking hate like comedians who are like, hope this doesn't get me canceled. Shut the fuck up. No one gives a fuck about you. Okay? Who gives a shit? Say whatever you want. Go for it. Say whatever the fuck you want. But don't be upset and don't be bitching and moaning when people are like, you know what, we don't want you on Disney Plus anymore because you said one of those things that Greg said earlier that it's censored and it's not even going to be on the Patreon. It's like, yeah, no shit. You're not going to have opportunities like that because you're saying shit that's offensive. The difference, too, is you can make jokes about anything. There's no topics that are not allowed to be joked about. You can joke about anything. That is 100% true. You can joke about anything. The thing is, the caveat, if you will, to that is that it has to be funny. Isn't that crazy? As a comedian, your priority is to be funny, not be offensive. You can be an offensive comic and make offensive jokes, but you need to be funny. That's how that works. I don't think that's such a fucking hot take, such a crazy claim that a comedian should prioritize being funny. You can joke about anything. You can joke about trans people. You can joke about women. You can joke about race. You can joke about religion. You can joke about fucking anything, about any of those censored things that I said earlier. And also, the best part about it is you can say those words that are back there. You can say those words. It's okay to say them if you're making a joke and if that joke is funny and the crux of it is on the joke itself, not the word. For the most part. I mean, probably take that with a grain of salt. Okay? That's risky. That's risky. Those are risky maneuvers. But it's been done. It's been done where people will make a joke and they say a word that is like untouchable, you know? Like whatever that word is that popped into your head, people have said it and it's funny. Because that was the intent, was to make something that's funny, not to make something that's trying to offend people. And we could tell the difference. People could tell the difference. There's going to be a lot of people that fucking bitch and moan about everything. But when it's distinctively a joke, people can tell. The problem is people are saying that things are gay. I don't like that. Because I like calling things gay and making people uncomfortable. I don't like that people can call things gay and be like, that's fucking gay. And it's like normal now. What the fuck? I was calling things gay this whole time where people are like, yo, you can't say that. I'm like, dude, you're being gay as hell right now for telling me that. I can't say things, dude. What the fuck? They're like, dude, this is like a manager's meeting. You can't call us gay. I'm like, well, maybe if you stop being so fucking gay, I wouldn't have to call you gay. I don't like it. I don't like that people are just openly being like, it's kind of gay. No repercussions. No fear. Takes all the fun out of it. What the fuck? Why are you calling things gay if it's okay to say it? Just call it like, oh, it's stupid. It was lame. Stop being so fucking lame. You know? Takes all the fun out of it if there's no repercussions to it. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I'll leave it at. Okay? I know it's kind of maybe it's just me. I don't know. I think that people need to start saying it. If you want to be tough, say it. I'm going to censor it there, but I can say it. Because I am a it. I'm going to censor it again. Just so people don't get upset. I don't lose any sponsorships that are not rolling in. Anyway, let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay? It's enough of my harping on being upset at people calling things gay for the wrong reasons. Pretty crazy. The things that I said earlier that we're going to talk about. I want to preface this also by saying I'm not a political science major. I'm not very good with politics. I have very limited interest in politics. My interest in politics is basically just knowing what's going on in the world. People ask where am I politically aligned, kind of on the political spectrum, where am I? I would say on the perimeter, watching, observing, and that's when you can see both sides of things. You're not really biased by one side thinking like, well, these fucking far-right conservatives and Republicans are always doing this and that. And then you're also not like, these fucking liberal crybaby Democrats, they're fucking this and that. You're able to kind of stand a little from the fucking sidelines and take information that you like from both sides. Right? And gather information and kind of construct your own thoughts. Wow, isn't that crazy? Imagine being politically aligned and being like on the Democrat side or the Republican side and being like, yo, that's my team. That's gay as hell. That's super gay. It's like you have like a football team and they always lose. They suck. No one likes them except the people from fucking Dallas. Obviously, I'm talking about the Cowboys. It's like that team sucks. But you're like, that's where I'm from. Or if you're not and you're just like, I just want to choose a team that's always going to suck and no one gives a fuck about. It's like you have that kind of thing where you're like, you at least have some sort of like camaraderie in it. You know, you're representing a whole town. You know, you're representing where you're from or where your family's from, whatever it is, you know. But then to be like politically aligned fully, to be like, yo, we voted this guy in. He's our fucking champion. Dude, he's fucking flawless. It's like when Joe Biden was in office. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyone that was like, dude, Joe Biden's the man. It's like you were out of your fucking mind. That demented old fuck needs to get out. He needs to die and leave. Like, you're out of your mind. Why would you think that he's the best choice? It was obviously like the lesser of two evils when it was Trump and Biden. But it's also like you can't be serious. You can't look at Biden and be like, dude, this was the right call. It's literally just like, God, I hope he doesn't fucking pull some switches and turn some knobs in the fucking Oval Office and accidentally send us to World War III and IV back to back when he thought he was ordering fucking ice cream on Uber Eats. You don't want that either. Okay? But whatever. I went off on a weird side tangent. But I'm not very politically knowledgeable, I'll admit, okay? This also isn't a political podcast. In case people are just like, well, why are you talking about politics and shit like that? It's because it's part of our world. Like, you can't ignore politics. You can't ignore the things that are happening in the world. Because complacency and deliberate ignorance are just as evil as the actual evil things that are happening. Just ignoring it, willingly ignoring it and not addressing things is evil. Complacency is evil. You need to pick a fucking side. And I don't mean left or right, Republican or Democrat. It's like you need to figure out what your actual alignments are. You need to figure out what the fuck you actually think and what you actually feel. And it's okay to be mad at both sides. It's okay to be pissed off at just the government, not the left, not the right, nothing like that. Because that's the way it is. It's us and them. That's the way I see it anyway. And not only that, but you can also, like, you need to understand that both sides can't be right, but both sides can be wrong. And when both sides are wrong, that should kind of fucking go into your head of like, well, these guys are the ones in charge of us, dude. Like, what the fuck? And you can be pissed off. It's okay. It's okay to be mad. I'm mad 90% of the time. I'm mad right now. Just talking about this. Anyway. So, having said all that, again, I'm getting political on my podcast. Yeah, because it's my fucking podcast, you fucking loser. Okay, this isn't going to be like Ben Shapiro's gay little podcast where he's just like, well, the left and the liberals. Shut your bitch ass up, dog. I will fuck you up, Ben Shapiro. That is not, I'm not going to threaten anyone. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you like I'm going to do that. I would. If it was like cared for a friendly spar, I would beat the fuck out of him. I'm out of his weight class anyways. Fucking little scrub, little pipsqueak. But yeah, I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about on my podcast because it's my podcast and you're gay and fuck you. So, basically, what's happening right now in the world, I don't know. Neither do you, probably. But all you need to know is in Palestine, there are children, women, civilians, people not involved in war or war games or combat or anything like that. People are being, I don't even want to say slaughtered, because slaughtering feels very personal. It's like what fucking people would do to villages. Like they came and slaughtered the women and children. Like, I don't know. It makes me think of like fucking swords and shit. Like, that's not what's happening. They're being completely eviscerated. People are sitting somewhere, they press a button, and they're being completely wiped out, bombed. And that's it. They just, in the blink of an eye, no resistance, just in the blink of an eye, they're gone. Hospitals, churches, like safe places are being destroyed. And if they're not, they're being completely cut off from any supplies, and they're being starved, which is arguably, well, not arguably, is worse. Because it's being starved and like dying of like dehydration and starvation is one of the most brutal ways to die. Like, it takes for fucking ever to happen in general. Like, just for starters, it takes forever. But it's excruciating. Obviously, if anyone's seen me in person, I'm not starving. But I'm pretty sure you can put together how horrible it would feel. There's obviously accounts of it happening. So yeah, it's not great. And it's just days and days of excruciating torture. And then probably getting bombed at the end of it. Or trying to go get supplies because you're just like, I'm going to die. And you go try to get something and you get blown up. That's it. So I don't think you need to be a political scientist to understand that, I don't know, that doesn't seem right. I don't think that's such a hot take. I don't know what your political views are if you're listening to this. If you are left-leaning, if you're right-leaning, if you're like me and you're just kind of taking it all in. But if you're okay with what's happening in Palestine right now, then maybe it's time to look inside yourself a little more. I don't know. It's also strange if someone is like okay and supports Israel, supports this genocide in Palestine, and is also pro-life, which is like, I think that baby deserves to live. But also, I don't think this, if it comes out and it's a woman, or it's a girl, and she grows up to be a woman, I also don't think that she should have the right to then choose whether or not she's going to have a baby. I don't know. Seems kind of counterintuitive. It's kind of crazy though to be like, no, that's a life in there. But as soon as she's born, she's on her own, and we're not going to pay her like everyone else. And if she gets raped or assaulted, she'll deal with it. She'll figure it out. And also, if there's a baby in Palestine, we can strap claymores to it and blow it up, and that's fine. because they're not American babies. You know, whatever. Fuck them. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, I don't think that's I don't think that's so strange to kind of bring up. If someone's like, they support Israel, they're like, who gives a fuck about Palestine? Palestine sucks. Also, I'm pro-life because babies are important, but not those babies because they're fucking brown. I don't know. Kind of strange. Even if it's not, you know, in Palestine or in regards to Palestine, it's like just being pro-life and being like, that baby, you're not allowed to choose what happens when the baby's inside of you. But as soon as the baby comes out, you know, whatever. It's got to start working in the coal mines. That baby's important, though. Unless it's Mexican. Because as soon as it comes out, it's getting sent to Guatemala. Don't even care if that's where you're from. That baby's out of here. Pretty insane. I don't know. That's just me. That's, you know, I don't think that's super controversial. I don't think these are controversial opinions. I don't think this isn't about like supporting Israel or Palestine or supporting this or that. It's like, are you okay with women and children and civilians being bombed and starved? You are? Oh, okay. So you're a fucking psycho and you're what's wrong with this world. Okay. That's cool. Are you okay with women not having any rights at all? Oh, well, that baby has rights until it's born. And if it's a woman, it doesn't have rights. Okay. That's cool. You know? I don't know. Just something to think about. Some weird things. Which kind of brings me back to the whole comedians thing, not being able to say certain things. Which is not like a comedians thing, really. It's more of just like it was more like an online thing. Because one of my favorite things to tell people, and it's like, now you really can't say these fucking things because the fucking liberals, they're fucking... is telling someone, kill yourself. God damn, that feels good. Like talking to someone and then you're like, you believe this? Kill yourself. Fucking kill yourself. Where's that? When are we bringing that back? Because I get it. It's like, you know, self-harm. I get it. I understand. Okay? But are you really gonna care if someone sees fucking Donald Trump and he like says like, no, I think Israel, they're fucking epic, and then you're just like, kill yourself. You think you could be someone who, again, not taking it lightly, but someone who has self-harmed or someone who has attempted suicide. You know, if you got to see Big Trump in front of you, you'd be like, dude, kill yourself. It's true. I would. Are you fucking kidding me? I would like, you know what? Had a couple drinks. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm actually going to take a sip. Give me a sec. I'm not going to pause or anything. You're just going to listen in silence. Okay? You could hear my air conditioner running for a few seconds. Ugh. Awesome stuff. Very good topics today. Very light topics today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about that. But yeah, people should feel more okay with telling people to kill themselves. Speaking of people that should kill themselves, ICE. Local terror organization, local terrorist group, ICE, has been going around and kidnapping people, illegally detaining people, and again, like I said earlier, sometimes deporting people to countries or places that they're not from. Just sending them away. At this point, there's been a lot of, obviously, a lot of protests. If you're not caught up, with anything? Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? There's a lot of protests, which is awesome. You know, it's dangerous too. There's a lot of stuff that's going on because where I live, there is a lot of, Hispanic people, different kinds of people, and different, not only just Hispanic, but also Asian people that are being targeted. And it's scary. And they're also wearing masks, which is like not cool and illegal. There's also people imitating ICE. You know? Like, how can we even tell? They're showing up to places and ambushing people, kidnapping them, and asking questions after. Pretty crazy. Right? I don't think that's very cool of them to be doing that. Not very cool at all. The thing is, if you are seeing this happen, then there's a lot of things that you can do. Again, being completely complacent in all of this is hugely detrimental to trying to retaliate against this fascism that's that's just kind of washing over our country right now. That's the only way to fight fascism, is to literally fight it and band together. And there's a lot of ways that you can do it. Now, with ICE, again, you're essentially dealing with like federal agents. So protests are really great way to kind of band people together, to kind of show ICE that they're not welcome wherever it is that they're going, wherever it is that they're at, and showing that we're going to band together against them. Some of the ways that I've seen is ICE will take kind of residency in hotels, and people will go to those hotels all night and just make a ton of noise to try to disrupt their sleep. Pretty cool. Again, people will also interfere with ICE, basically body blocking people. Awesome. The thing is, you might be someone who's in a situation where either you're illegal or you may be friends or family with someone who is illegal. Kind of puts you in a weird spot because you want to go protest, you want to go do a bunch of stuff, but you can't really risk the people in your life, which is totally understandable. And also, there's plenty of ways to also help other people. One of the easiest ways is to spread the word. Social media is huge right now. It's so important right now to be able to spread that information, because if you're able to spread information in the area, there's like accounts, like local accounts, like, for certain cities. Sometimes there's small local accounts that kind of let you know things that are going on in the community. And if you don't have something like that, you can start something. Spread information as people kind of give you information, or they find out where ICE agents are, and you're able to kind of help, people strategize. Spreading that information is super, super key. So you might not be able to go to the protests, but you can definitely help organize them, or let people know where these protests are and where they're happening, or letting people know where ICE agents are and putting them on blast. Like, that's super helpful. Even then, if that's still kind of something that you're not comfortable doing, still understandable, you can also do things like just donate to verified fundraisers. People that are trying to help other people, whether it's locals that are in need of food or money for legal purposes, or if there's a verified fundraiser that is trying to help people and support people that are victims of these ICE agents. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. Even just spreading that info is helpful. There's ways to organize where you can go and go to the store and get things for people that are too scared to leave their house because they're at risk, essentially. So there's a lot of ways you can help. There's a lot of ways you can contribute. There's a lot of ways you can fight back against shit like this, because these fucking fascist fucks are coming to our communities and ripping people out from them. And they're destroying families. They're destroying lives. And they're destroying people who are honest and hardworking people. We have a literal rapist pedophile running our country, and no one's doing shit about that. And yet they're accusing our people of being the same way and being criminals when they're going and working fucking 12-hour days just to support their family. I don't know where that makes sense. I don't know where your political alignment is on that. That doesn't fucking make sense to me. So you can help a lot. You can go to these protests. You can vocalize. You can say all these things. You can donate. You know, there are other ways too that I would not recommend any of these ways. Okay? If you're going to go and confront ICE agents, I would not recommend doing any of these things, because they're very, very bad things to do. For instance, you definitely should not get some sort of wire cutters and clip off the actual hose piece that sticks out of tires on ICE agents' trucks, because then the entire tire would need to be replaced. You can't really patch that up. You can't refill the air on it. It needs to be completely changed, and it completely destroys the chances of that truck moving. Like, you definitely don't want to do anything like that. You also don't want to do anything, you know, really radical, like getting, like, I don't know, aerosol bombs, flamethrowers that you can use, like alcohol-based hairspray, or like spray paint cans, tape a lighter to it and break off the end piece, light it up and spray it. And, you know, you don't want to do any shit like that, because that's super, super, you know, illegal. You're attacking federal agents. You do not do that. Don't do anything like that. Don't clip anything from their tires. You don't want to get spark plugs and get the little small ceramic piece that's inside of it and break their windshields, because it will just explode their windshield and they won't be able to see. They won't be able to drive. It's just going to be a whole fucking thing. And I mean, those things are pretty easy to hide in your pocket, and you can just kind of throw it really quick and it'll explode their windshield. It's just, you know, it's really bad. You don't want to do anything like that. It's super illegal. There's plenty of other ways to contribute other than making spray can bombs, clipping the, you know, tires and breaking their windshields. There's other things you can do to kind of fight back the resistance on that. So anyway, yeah, so, you know, look into your local community to see how you can help resist against these fucking fascist pigs that are trying to fuck up our community, trying to fuck up our lives. Anyway, let's do some ad reads. Just kidding. I'm going to take another drink so you guys can just sit here and listen, you fucking losers. That's good. Getting day drunk is the move. Like, I don't know why people don't day drink all the time. It's awesome. You feel confident during the day? Are you kidding me? Confidence during the day? Are you kidding me? It's awesome. But anyway, that's you know, some stuff I wanted to say about some ICE agents. Those people, the people that support them too. It's like, dude, what do you? Kill yourself. That's the only way to respond to them. Kill yourself. But again, know your rights. If someone doesn't know, help them. Oh, also, another thing, this is something that I've seen too, is like something you can also do if you want to, if you're so inclined to try to help, you can post information. Go to local, local spots that kind of allow things to be posted, telephone poles. You could go to, areas that a lot of people kind of commonly walk through, post up information about legal help or fundraising, or any sort of like QR codes to scan for people to be able to access their rights. Do it in English, Spanish. You can make flyers like that and post them up, and that's super helpful. The thing is, I've also seen people taking flyers down. Right? Now, if you were to see someone, let's say you went and you put up a flyer, or you're at somewhere or at a place, and you see a flyer is up, right? And you're like, wow, that's really great. Like, people are putting up flyers, they're trying to help people. It's like legal advice or, fundraising or anything that, any of the other shit that I said, I already forgot. And you see it and you're like, that's great. That's super awesome that information's being spread. And then you see like the next day, someone's taking it down. It's not like a legal thing. It's not like there's just like a random person is coming up and they're tearing all this shit down. Not cool. Right? And I feel like it's kind of an indicator that they probably support ICE. Right? So I don't think that's a stretch to assume. If someone's taking down like public information that's supposed to help people that are affected by this terrorist group, they're taking that information down. It kind of feels like they're on their side, I don't know. The thing is, obviously, you don't want to do anything to them. You can't. The last thing you want to do is confront someone, hurt someone, touch someone, and now you're facing an assault charge. It's not cool. Not very cash money. You need to be smart. One thing you can do is, assuming it's in a public space, you can vlog what you're doing. You're just recording your day. And, obviously when you watch YouTube videos or TikToks or Reels, whatever it is, and people are vlogging, and sometimes people are recorded in the background. Sometimes someone's likeness shows up in a video. So I don't think there's anything wrong with vlogging. If you see, you're in an area and you happen to see someone taking down flyers, maybe that you put up or that or there to help other people, just kind of vlog about your day. If anyone gets caught in the background of the video, it's part of vlogging. It's a big world. You're in a public space. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. What you don't want to do is, if that person happens to get caught in a video, you see this person taking down these flyers that are supposed to be helping people that are in need, and they get caught in this video. The last thing you want to do is get a very clear image of them and post it online to any social media accounts, claiming that they're a racist or that they're taking down flyers to help people in need. You don't want to do anything like that. It just gets a little muddy. If you were going to do it, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do anything like that. You definitely don't also want to start like a second account or anything like that, where you just can reverse image search their image online and kind of see if any accounts come up, maybe an Instagram account, any sort of social media accounts, a Facebook account, and then send that image or the whole video to any of their followers or any people that they know, anything like that, saying that you saw them taking down flyers to help people in need. You don't want to do anything like that. This is just kind of gets a little messy. You can start a second account. Yeah, you can make a fake Instagram account. Yeah, you can kind of reach out pretty easily and image searching people online is actually surprisingly easy. They probably live in the area too, so you'd be able to find them pretty locally. You just don't want to do anything like that. It could really ruin their life. It could especially ruin their life if you happen to find their Indeed account, because, I mean, if they're the kind of person that's taking down shit like this to harm, these, people in these situations, they probably have an Indeed account. You know what I mean? You know what kind of people I'm talking about? They probably have an Indeed account. They probably have or not an Indeed account, a LinkedIn account. A LinkedIn account, They have a LinkedIn account. They definitely have a LinkedIn account. So you don't want to go on their LinkedIn and find the job that they're working at or places that they've worked at before, and, send this information to employers. That could really, really fuck up their life, their career. It's really bad. It would be really bad if you did that. If you saw anyone taking down flyers and you took a video of them or a picture of them and you sent it to any of their employers, you found out who they are, where they live, where they work, and send that information to their employers so that they get fired and they struggle to find jobs for an indefinite amount of time because everyone knows that they're a racist and they do shit like that to harm other people. You don't want to do anything like that. So Donald Trump is our president.
I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
He's just my favorite thing. My favorite thing that Donald Trump has done is changing the Gulf of Mexico's name. So funny. They're not French fries anymore. We're changing them to American sticks. Like, that's all he's done so far. He's just like gone mad with power, where he's done initially it was just like stupid stunts like that, changing the name of some shit just to be like, this is the Gulf of America. This is America, not Texas, not California. This is America, not Mexico. It was so fucking funny. Just seeing stuff like that, like American fries, freedom fries instead of French fries. Like, it's the same exact thing. You go to some fucking hick bullshit like restaurant and they're like, we have freedom fries here. And you're like, you're fucking gay as hell. Kill yourself. And it's just crazy. And then immediately just fucking like put the fucking pedal to the metal and then was like, okay, not only is it the Gulf of America now, but also we're going into full fascist dictatorship and we're kidnapping people. I'm not building the wall. I'm letting them in and I'm fucking capturing them and we're holding them in camps like this is fucking Auschwitz. This is like, he is like the second coming of Hitler. I'm gonna take a drink. Hang on. Okay, I ran out of juice. Hitler, not a cool dude. But also, sidebar, one of my favorite images is Trump when he's in the Oval Office and he's like sitting at the like desk and Jesus is behind him, like holding his shoulders. So sick. Anyway, that's not it's completely different from what I was trying to talk about, but yeah, he's leading the charge right now, dude. He's fucking killing it. He's doing a bang up job. Honestly, he's doing more shit than Biden was doing in the sense of doing things. None of it's cool. But I mean, also Biden was doing shit that's not cool too. Again, both sides can be wrong. But yeah, it's weird being an American right now A lot of people denouncing being American or wanting to move to Canada or Mexico or some other country. And it's like, grow the fuck up. Grow up or move, because everyone's thought that before you were into politics. Everyone felt that. Everyone was like, oh, God, I'm moving out of here. Depending on which side you're on. You know, they're letting all these fucking Mexicans in. I'm gonna move. I'm tired of this. And then it's like, well, yeah, we got all these fucking horrible Republican laws put in place. I'm gonna move to another country. Shut your bitch ass up. No, you're not. It's like people shouldn't be denouncing that they're American. It's just that it's such an embarrassment of how some Americans act, and that we're being led right now literally into the entire movie Idiocracy, which is fucking insane, dude. Mike Judge called it on that. Next year, oh my God, next year we're going to have a UFC fight at the White House. That is the most American shit ever. That is so fucking badass, dude. I up to this point, I was like, I don't have a political alignment. For sure, Trump is a piece of shit. But when he was like, dude, we're going to get the octagon at the White House, bro. I was fucking Trump dog. That's my boy. That's my president. I was bought in. Dude, he almost had me. He had me in a stranglehold. I love the UFC, dude. I love fights. I love combat sports in general. And when I saw that there was going to be a UFC fight at the White House, like, God damn, if that's the most American shit I've ever seen, I'm fucking bought in. But anyway, it sucks. It sucks feeling like people are not proud to be American. It's shitty, because you should. You should have the privilege to be proud of the country you're from. A lot of people have that. And to feel like it's an embarrassment to be where you're from, to be American, is all the more reason to fight against the things that piss you the fuck off. Why wouldn't you? You can't not be American. You move to another country, they're going to fucking shun you. They're going to hate you. Apart from maybe Mexico. As long as you can drink and you like the food there, you're like, dude, this guy's not bad. This guy's kind of tight. Like, he drank like 40 beers last night and helped us kill a pig. Like, he's one of us. He's one of us. But you go to most countries, they're going to shun you. Even within our own country, you go to another state, you'll get shunned. You go to fucking Texas and you're like, I'm from California. They're like, dude, you're not American. You're probably liberal. And you're like, you're gay as fuck. Fuck you. Everyone in Texas butt fucks each other. Sidebar. Yeah, it's shitty to be American right now and to feel proud that you're an American. And if you feel that way, do something about it. It can be, again, it doesn't have to just be what we talked about with ICE agents. It can just be spreading information, getting the word out, vocalizing things, helping organize fundraisers, helping organize protests. It's like right now, it's honestly insane to see that like the newer generations are coming up and they're very outspoken about their political beliefs in a good way and a bad way, which is good. There's never going to be complete cohesion. We're not built for that. Humans are built for conflict. There's always going to be opposing views. There's always going to be different belief systems and thoughts, which is fine. The thing is, as of right now, we've strayed so far from the point that there is so much discourse right now in our country. Is it the most divided we've been? No. How could anyone think this is the most divided we've been? There were slaves here. And people were like, yo, you should not have slaves. And they're like, dude, come and take my fucking slaves away from me then. It's not the most divided we've been, but it is the most in touch we've been with each other. We're able to communicate a lot more and kind of draw our own conclusions than we have in the past because of the internet, because of social media, because of being able to communicate to each other and draw our own conclusions, which is what we should be doing. You shouldn't be politically aligned to one side. That is absurd. That is joining a cult. To just undeniably denounce anything else that isn't in your field of view. That doesn't align with what you believe. You shouldn't do that. You should take into consideration all the information that you're given and draw your own conclusions. And then you'll find that people also feel that way. And from there, we can start to grow. We can start to rebuild. We can start to oppose together. And hopefully, things will get better. Once Trump is out of office, which Trump is out of his fucking mind, this has nothing to do with far right, far left beliefs. It is that he is a racist, he's a pedophile, he's a criminal, and he is a fucking used car salesman. Like he's a businessman. And he convinced the whole country that he's the guy to choose to run it. And everyone fell for it. And he needs to be taken out of office. He's going to try to run again. He's going to try to make changes. And he's going to try to be the first president, I think the first president to run, or not run, but to be president for 3 terms. He is going to try that. He's going to do whatever it takes to stay in power. He might not have to be president. It might not be so much of a democratic sense. Or not just in a democracy kind of sense. He's going to try to stay in power. And he needs to be taken out of power. And part of what can possibly take him out of power is the release of the Epstein list, which he is on for sure. He is a pedophile. It's undeniable. When you have some of the major Republican supporters, Trump supporters, which are 2 different things. Because you have people who support the right no matter what. Zealots. Same way with the left. There's zealots on both sides. It doesn't matter who we put into office. I am undeniably following you. It's zealotry. And there's people who support Trump, and there's people who support the right no matter what. Sometimes they're the same person, sometimes they're different. But there's people who just support Trump and who are backing off because they're like, yo, you said you're going to release the Epstein list, and where is it? Now that we have it, why isn't it being released? There's people who support just the right and Republicans, and they're also like, yo, where's the fucking list, dude? And the thing is, it's being botched because it's like, well, we don't want to release information because there's people who are going to be harmed from it, right? There's victims, and we don't want to put out information that's going to potentially harm the victims of this, which is like, first of all, since when have you ever given a shit about victims of abuse? Never. The government does not give a fuck about victims of abuse. Like, they don't care. First of all, if it's women, they don't care about women. Government doesn't care about women. It's a fact. It's a historical fact. No rights for women, no fucking equal pay for women, no basic human rights for women. So it's not that. It's not about that, obviously. And if you were so concerned about the victims, then you should put the people that were harming them on trial and on blast, and you should make it public. You care so much about the victims that you don't want to release their names. Don't release their fucking names. Release the names of the people that turned them into victims. You fucking morons! It's not hard. It's not hard, and people see through the bullshit. This isn't about the victims. This is about protecting high-value clients. This is about protecting celebrities. This is about protecting politicians. This is about protecting people in power via controlling companies and money and things like that. Controlling banks, controlling major corporations and companies and names. That's what they're protecting. They're not protecting the victims. They don't give a fuck about the victims. They give a fuck about the people who are paying them to not release the list. The list that Donald Trump is on. Epstein did not kill himself. He was killed. And if that list comes out, I think even if it does come out, it's going to be heavily redacted. And it's going to be sculpted in a way that will not release the information that we're seeking. It's going to cover things up. That's just the way it's going to be. And I don't think it's going to change anything if it comes out. Which is, I don't know. To me, it's just an unfortunate truth. If it fully becomes released, like when they released the MLK like documents, basically saying, which this is a whole other rabbit hole, if you felt so inclined to go into it. But they released files on Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy. And both files essentially said the government killed off these people. Especially Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed by the government. And his family sued the American government and won. Like, you can look into it too. I would hope that you look into it. You don't even have to look into it on your own. You can look up your favorite YouTube conspiracy theorist or your favorite YouTube video essayist. They've done it. And the files that were released say that the government killed Martin Luther King Jr. Everyone knew it. Everyone knew already. They released information. They put out files that basically said, hey, the sky is blue. No fucking shit, dickhead. Everyone knows that. So it's just like, why would they not release it fully if there was nothing to hide? If there weren't people that were going to be affected by it? If it wouldn't potentially collapse our economy? I'm sure, because there's going to be a lot of people that fall out of power, or that if they're held accountable, would be arrested for the crimes they committed. So it's either going to be heavily redacted and basically will not affect anything, or it's not going to be released. So people need to push for it to be released, and to push for all the information to be released. Every single bit of information needs to be made available, and everyone needs to be outspoken about it, because if they're not, people will forget, because right now they're hoping everyone forgets within a month or two, because that's how fast our brains work. in the time, like it's a total catch-22 because we're able to spread information like wildfire now because of the internet and because of social media, which is super beneficial to us as a community and as just normal people. It's super beneficial. But because of information, how fast information can move and spread, it also is detrimental to us because of the fact that new information is constantly coming in, and it will now take precedence over the old information. So be on the lookout for new shit that develops, because there are always misdirects. There are always things that are going to come up that are going to try to make you forget what's going on. And they're going to make you lose sight. There's going to be, I guarantee, there's going to be a terrorist attack on American soil soon. That's not a threat, by the way. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. That's not what I meant. That sounded like a threat. I'm not doing that. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a cannibal either. But there's going to be something that happens on American soil, I'm sure, that's going to distract us. And it's going to distract from the Epstein list. It's going to distract from Palestine. It's going to distract from ICE. It's going to distract from a lot of shit. And they're going to try to bring us together as a country. And we don't need to be brought together through tragedy. We need to be brought together by opposing fascist forces and pedophile criminals in office. So I know that was a lot. I appreciate you sticking through this if you're still there. And I hope that some of what I said made sense and gets through to some people. Maybe it might change your beliefs on things. That would be awesome if it maybe changed things for the better, or maybe it gave you some perspective on something that you you didn't have before. I don't know. I don't know shit about fucking anything. Okay. I'm a drunk podcaster. I'm not someone to be taken seriously. I'm not someone that is a voice that should be taken so seriously where you're going to completely change your beliefs. I am not that kind of leader. But I am giving you information that I've gathered and opinions that I hold. And again, it is for you to utilize that information how you see fit. Whether it's to integrate into your belief system, whether it's to change your belief system, or whether it's to completely disregard. It's completely up to you what you do with the information that was given today, the opinions that were given today. But if that's the case, do that with everything. All the information you gather online or through radio or in person from talking to people, take that information, do some research, and make your own fucking conclusions. Don't side with anyone. Make your own decisions, draw your own conclusions, and then maybe we'll find a common thread. So I want to close out today's episode with a quote from someone who has always been a inspiration of mine, politically and comedically, who tragically passed away years ago now, but is someone who I've looked up to, who I love very dearly, who I watched growing up and was brilliant through and through, and also took things very seriously, but also saw the comedy in everything. Rest in peace, Trevor Moore. We love you forever. Hi, I'm Greg Ramirez. Did you know it's illegal to say the phrase, "I want to kill the President of the United States of America"? It's illegal. It's a federal offense. It's one of the only sentences that you're not allowed to say. Now, it was okay for me to say it right then because I was just telling you that it's illegal to say, "I want to kill the President of the United States of America." I'm not actually saying it. I'm just letting you know that it's illegal to say that. It's kind of like a public service. I'm letting you know so you don't accidentally go out and say something like that. But what's interesting is that it's very illegal to say, I really, really think someone out there should kill the president of the United States of America. That's illegal. Extremely illegal. Very, very illegal. But not illegal to say with a mortar launcher. Because that's its own sentence. It's an incomplete sentence, but it may have nothing to do with the sentence before that. So that's perfectly fine. Perfectly legal. I also found out that it's incredibly illegal, extremely illegal, to go on a podcast and say something like, the best place to fire a mortar launcher at the White House is from the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building because of the minimal security and you have a clear line of sight to the president's bedroom. Insanely illegal, ridiculously, horribly felonious, because they will come to your house in the middle of the night and they will lock you up. Extremely against the law. One thing that is technically legal to say is we have a group that meets Fridays at midnight at the Crack House, and the password is Sic Semper Tyrannis. Thank you guys for listening. I'm your host, Greg Ramirez, and I hope that today wasn't too heavy, but at the same time, fuck you, you're gay, kill yourself. Okay, bye.